Assalamualaikum, Dr. Faisal bin Basri. Today, me and my other team members from class Nbtm 2B would be presenting our assignment project for subject Financial Management FIN420. Before we start our presentation, I would like to introduce our team members. My name is Fatimah Adilah binti Ibrahim. The second member is Nur Ain Syafiqah binti Nur Azhar, and the third member is Nur Alia Farhana binti Yaakob. Before we start our presentation, the topic that we will discuss is financial ratio analysis of our chosen company. So we choose Tome Consolidated Berhad, Pohkong Holding Berhad, and Niche Capital Emas Berhad Holdings. I will begin with a brief introduction of the company I have chosen. Is Tome Consolidated Berhad. Tome was established in 1968 and is headquartered in Kuala Lumpur. It is listed on the main market of Bursa Malaysia. The company was founded by Tan Sri Datuk Dr. Ng Tek Fong. Today, it operates over 60 retail outlets across Malaysia under well-known brands like Tome, Lee Lumiere, De Beers, and Prima Golds. Its core business include gold refining, jewelry manufacturing, wholesaling, and retail. Tome offers a wide range of jewelry from luxury bridal collection to everyday contemporary design. Their vision is to become a trusted and well-known jewelry provider in Malaysia and internationally. Nur Ain Syafiqah chose Pohkong Holdings Berhad. Pohkong was founded in 1976 by Chon Yi Sejong, and it has now grown to operate 91 outlets across Malaysia. The company offers more than 150,000 jewelry designs, including gold, silver, platinum, and diamond. In 2001, Pohkong set up its own manufacturing facility in Shah Alam to support its production. The business also covers areas like retail, manufacturing, wholesales, and distribution, property, and overseas investment and franchise. Some of its key brands include Trans, Happy Love, Art of Auspicious, Anggun, Hamira, and The First Diamond. Pohkong's success comes from staying resilient, relevant, and always customer-focused. This is known as the Pohkong way. The third member, Nur Alia Farhana, chose Niche Holding Berhad. The company was incorporated in 2000 and got listed on Bursa Malaysia in 2002. Later joining the main market in 2009. Although the company was officially established in 2000, its roots in gold jewelry craftsmanship date back to the 1940s. Today, Niche has around 300 employees with its manufacturing based in Penang and headquartered in Malaysia. It also has a regional presence in Hong Kong and Indonesia. The company's core business areas include precious metals and stones trading, manufacturing and wholesales, property and construction, and mineral exploration. Niche describes itself as resilient, diverse, and forward-looking as it continues to grow and expand across Southeast Asia.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Ain Syafiqah and I represent a financial ratio analysis. Financial ratio analysis is an important part of financial management. It helps in understanding how well a company is performing by using data from financial statements such as the income statement and balance sheet. Financial ratio analysis focusing on 5 key aspects: liquidity, leverage, activity, profitability, and market. Liquidity ratio shows the company's ability to pay short-term debts. We use the current ratio and quick ratio. A strong ratio means the company can cover its short-term obligation. Secondly, leverage ratio measures debt level. The debt to equity ratio and interest coverage ratio help us see if the company is too dependent on borrowing. And thirdly, activity ratio shows how efficiently the company uses its asset, inventory, turnover, and collection period tell us how well resources are managed. Fourthly, profitability ratio measures earnings. Net profit margin (ROA) and ROE show how well the company turns sales, asset, and equity into profit. And lastly, market ratio like EPS and PE reflects investor confidence and how the market values the company's future potential. By comparing this ratio, we can see which company is stronger financially. This helps in making better business and investment decisions. Correlation analysis means comparing multiple companies at the same point in time, used to compare the different performance between Tome Consolidated Berhad, Pokong Holdings Berhad, and Niche Capital Holdings Berhad in 3 years from 2021 to 2023.
Based on the current ratio trends from 2021 to 2023, niche shows significant volatility, peaking at over 8.0 in 2021 before dropping below 4.0 in 2023, which may indicate rising short-term liabilities or a drop in current asset. In contrast, Pokong maintained a stable current ratio between 3.5 and 4.5 throughout the period, reflecting consistent short-term financial health and effective asset liability management. Meanwhile, Tome demonstrated gradual improvement, with its current ratio rising from 2.3 in 2021 to 3.0 in 2023. Signaling steady progress in managing its working capital. In summary, niche appears volatility. Pokong remains stable and Tome is showing positive improvement. Looking at the quick ratio performance from 2021 to 2023, niche consistently recorded high ratios, peaking close to 5.0 in 2022 before dropping to around 2.0 in 2023, indicating strong but volatile liquidity. Pokong, on the other hand, maintained a very low quick ratio, around 0.2 or less, suggesting heavy reliance on inventory to meet obligation and exposing the company to liquidity risks if inventory cannot be quickly converted into cash. Meanwhile, Tome has shown gradual improvement, rising from below 0.5 in 2021 to above 0.5 in 2023. While still low, this trend reflects positive movement in liquidity management. In summary, niche show strong but unstable liquidity. Pokong depends heavily on inventory and Tome is improving, though it still faces liquidity challenges. In terms of debt-to-equity ratio trends, Tome had the highest leverage among the three, starting at around 90% in 2021 and gradually reducing to about 60% in 2023, indicating less reliance on debt and improving capital structure. Pokong maintained a low and stable debt-to-equity ratio between 20% to 30%, which reflect a conservative financing approach and lower financial risk. Meanwhile, niche consistently recorded an extremely low debt-to-equity ratio of under 5%, showing it relies minimally on debt and is heavily equity funded, making it the most financially conservative of the three. To summarize, niche present the lowest risk with an equity-focused strategy. Pokong is stable and cautious, while Tome is the most leveraged but moving in positive direction. Looking at the time interest and ratio, niche stand out with an exceptionally strong position, consistently recording values above 120 and peaking at nearly 140 in 2022. This reflects extremely low risk of interest payment default. Pokong maintained a moderate TIA between 10 and 20 times, which suggests healthy but more modest interest coverage compared to niche. On the other hand, Tome had the lowest TIE ratio, consistently under 10 times. Through it has shown slight improvement over the years. This points to a tighter earning cushion and higher sensitivity to interest rate increase or profit fluctuation. In summary, niche offers the strongest interest coverage, while Pokong remains safe but less robust, and Tome is the most vulnerable through improving gradually.
This slide I will explain average collection period in three, which is niche, Pokong, and Tome. For average collection period, niche recorded a very high figure, about 300 days in 2022 before improving to over 120 days in 2023. Despite the improvement, it's still considered long and may affect cash flow. Pokong maintained a very short period, close to 0 days, indicating cash recovery likely from cash sale. Tome remains stable between 20 to 30 days, showing good credit management. Overall, Pokong is the most efficient, followed by Tome, while niche showed improvement but was inefficient in earlier years. Now we look at asset efficiency measured by the total asset turnover ratio. Pokong leads in this area, showing the highest turnover every year. The ratio improved from just under 1.3 in 2021 to about 1.6 in 2023, indicating strong and improving use of assets to generate sales. Niche maintained a stable performance with turnover ratio around 1.3 to 1.4, which is solid, though slightly behind Pokong. Tome, however, showed the weakest performance with ratio below 0.5 in all years. This suggests lower sales efficiency. In summary, Pokong demonstrates the best asset management, niche performance consistently, and Tome needs significant improvement in using assets to drive revenue. Operating margin show how well a company earns from its core business. Niche recorded negative margin throughout with a low of 55% in 2022, improving to negative 20% in 2023. This show ongoing loss but some recovery. Pokong maintained healthy margin between 7% to 9%, reflecting strong cost control and efficient operation. Tome show positive but lower margin around 2 to 4%, indicating steady but modest profitability. In summary, Pokong is the most efficient, Tome is the stable, and Niche is still struggling but improving. Next is return on asset or ROA, which show how efficiently a company uses its asset to generate profit. Niche recorded negative ROA in all 3 years, with a worst in 2022 at around negative 50%, indicating major inefficiency and loss. In 2022, it improved slightly to around negative 5%, but still underperformed. Pokong showed the strongest and most consistent ROA, exceeding 10% in 2022 and stay between 5 to 10% in other years, proving strong profitability and efficient asset use. Tome also had positive ROA throughout, with a peak of 10% in 2022, though slightly behind Pokong overall. In summary, Pokong and Tome use their asset effectively to drive profit, while Niche still struggle, though there are signs of slight improvement.
Now, I will explain about the return on assets, which shows how well a company uses its assets to make profit. For Niche, return on asset was negative in all 3 years, meaning the company made loss. The worst year was 2022 with around negative 15%, which shows it was not using its asset effectively. In 2023, it improved slightly to around negative 5%, but it was still not profitable. In comparison, Pokong had the strongest return on asset. It was above 10% in 2022 and between 5% to 10% in other years. This shows that Pokong is using its assets very well to generate profit. Tome also did well. Its return on asset was positive every year, with the highest in 2022 at around 10%. Next, I will explain the price to earning ratio, which shows how much investors are willing to pay for company earnings. Among the 3 companies, Pokong had the highest and most consistent PE ratio. It grew from just over 2 cents in 2021 to almost 4.5 cents in 2023. This shows that investors have strong confidence in Pokong's performance and future growth. On the other hand, Niche has had a very low PE ratio, around 0.2 to 0.5 cents over the years. This suggests low investor confidence, likely because the company had continuous loss and poor profitability. For Tome, the PE ratio was not shown clearly in the data. This may mean the company had zero negative earnings, making the PE ratio not meaningful or not applicable. Thank you.
Alright, lastly, we talk about the recommendation. Between 2021 and 2023, Pokong stood out as the best performing company, showing strong financial stability with a healthy current ratio, efficient asset use, and solid profitability. It's consistently paid dividends and even increased payouts, signaling investor confidence. In comparison, Tome showed positive improvement in liquidity and profitability, but still has high debt levels and weaker interest coverage, and it did not pay dividends, which may deter income-seeking investors. Niche, while having high liquidity and minimal debt, continued to post losses with weak profitability, making it the most financially unstable. Overall, Pokong is the most reliable and stable choice. Tome show potential but need further progress, and Niche remains the riskiest option. Thank you.
To conclude this report, reviewed the financial performance of Tome, Pokong, and Niche Capital from 2021 to 2023. Pokong emerged as the strongest performer, showing consistent growth, efficient operation, and solid return. Tome also showed steady performance with room for further improvement, especially in profitability and asset usage. Meanwhile, Niche continued to face financial challenges, but there are early signs of recovery. Overall, Pokong is the most stable and reliable. Tome is improving, and Niche still needs time to strengthen its position. That's all for me. Thank you.